Hi guys! So today I thought I would do a different sort of review for you, or like top 5. So what I want to share with you, because we're going into summer right now, at least those of us in the northern hemisphere. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some of my favorite sunscreens. Just as a disclaimer here, I do not like sunscreen in general. I avoid putting it on at every possible turn. So for me to say that these are some of the best sunscreens I have found, that is definitely coming from somebody who hates wearing sunscreen. So these are going to be very comfortable and very easy to wear and easy to apply. I have used some really horrible greasy sunscreens, some that smelled nice but just didn't feel good, but all of the ones that I'm going to talk about are pretty nice. I do have an honorable mention that I will mention at the end. I don't have my bottle with me. I do have a bottle of it somewhere, and I have used it for the past couple of years, but it's I'm not sure where it is right now. I tend to lose sunscreens. But yeah, I'm going to talk about 2 really good face sunscreens and 2 good body sunscreens. So just if you're... depends what you're looking for. I also do want to mention that 2 of the products that I'm mentioning in this video were sent to me for review, and I will mention that when I talk about those products. But yeah, it totally doesn't affect my review of those products. It's just something I thought you should know. So the first one is one that I did buy for myself because I wanted a good bunch of sunscreens, mostly because I wanted to go for a walk on the seawall and I realized that I couldn't find my sunscreen from last year. This is the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Face Sunscreen SPF 60. That is a bit of an intense SPF, but I'm very pale and I burn very easily and I like my skin. So I thought that I would just get, the good stuff, last a long time. This one is supposed to be non-comedogenic, oil-free, ultralight, and quick absorbing. As with a lot of sunscreens, it's sweat and water resistance for 80 minutes and it lasts for 2 hours. So you are supposed to apply it every sort of 2 hours that you're in the sun. This one's really good. It has a bit more of a skincare scent to it, a bit more of that fresh smell. Obviously it does smell a little bit like sunscreen. It is white, but it doesn't really show up when you work it into your skin. And it doesn't really have too much of a shine or an oil to it. It actually feels really, really nice on the skin. I do find that it has a little bit more of a sort of moisturizer texture on your skin because it kind of is a moisturizer as well. It's not just a sunscreen. It works really good under makeup as well. The texture is, because it sets really nicely. So yeah, it makes a pretty good base for your makeup, which is even better because you don't want to stop wearing makeup just because you have to wear sunscreen in the summer. Also, I felt like this was a little bit pricey. It was like $15 to $18, but it is 88 mils, which is like almost 3 bottles of foundation. So it's really not that expensive. You're not going to be using a whole lot more sunscreen than you would use foundation on your face. This is going to last at least all summer. The other face one that I have was sent to me for review, and it is the Coppertone Clearly Sheer Face Sunscreen, and this one is just an SPF 30. It's also in a smaller bottle. It's only 59 mils, but that's still the size of 2 foundations. As you can see, it has a pump and it has a little bit more of that fresh smell. Again, it comes out white, just like every sunscreen is always going to do. And it has a bit more, it's definitely a different texture than the Neutrogena. It's a little bit lighter and it sits on the skin a little bit less. The Neutrogena, I find, has a bit more of that moisturizer feel. Like you're still going to feel a slight bit on your skin. It doesn't soak in all the way, but it kind of sets, if you know what I mean, kind of like a primer. Whereas the Coppertone one really soaks into your face really quickly. It's very, very comfortable. It smells a little bit like fresh and a little bit like sunscreen. I can't remember the price of this. I will either leave it down here or I will leave it in the... But yeah, this one is really good. It doesn't have as high of a SPF. I will also try and find out if this has a higher SPF version or if 30 is how far it goes. That said, 30 is a pretty good amount of sunscreen if you're not going to be outside all day or if you have more resilient skin than someone who's super pale like me. SPF 30 will protect your skin, but it might not keep me from burning if I was like out in the sun for 2 full hours. Yeah, I definitely like it just for everyday sort of things. If I know I'm going to be outside, I probably will reach for the SPF 60 just because it'll protect my face a little bit more. But I think this is really good if I'm just going to be outside a bit. Okay, now we're on to body sunscreens. If you have really sort of agreeable skin, you could probably use either of these for your face as well. But yeah, these are meant for body and not specifically for face. So they might break some more sensitive skin types out, or more oily skin types out, or acne prone skin. The first one is the one that I bought for myself, and that is the Hawaiian Tropic Kids Sunscreen Lotion. It comes in the pretty average Hawaiian Tropics bottle, got kids on it, and this is an SPF 50 plus. Not entirely sure what that means. Let's just say it's SPF 50. So this is broad spectrum, water resistant for 80 minutes, pediatrician tested, won't run into eyes. So they are assuming that you're using this on your kid's face. It's also meant for kids' skin, so it is going to be good for anyone with really sensitive skin because yeah, it's meant to be used on kids. That said, there's no reason that you can't use it on adult skin, and it smells fantastic. Hawaiian Tropic stuff always smells really, really good, but this one just smells super fruity and like so summery. It's definitely got a lot of that coconut scent, but I would sort of say that there are other smells in it, probably because there's stuff like shea butter and papaya extract and mango extract. So this stuff is just great. It's also a really great brand and I love it. It does, I find, soak into the skin again really, really well, which is great for kids too, because I don't think that kids want to be like super, super greasy. And yeah, you can smell the smell. It definitely sticks to you, but it's so nice. It's kind of like a summer perfume. And yeah, it's not hard to rub in because it takes a minute or two to soak into your skin. But once it's in there, you really can't feel it at all, and it doesn't bug me at all, which is really great. And then finally I have, well, sort of finally, I have, again, sent to me for review the Coppertone Clearly Sheer SPF 30 body lotion. So this is just a body version of the face one. Broad spectrum UVA-B protection, lightweight, and breathable. This one is 147 mils. The Hawaiian Tropics was 240. The Coppertone, again, I think is a pretty good size. I think it's a little bit thinner. This is a bit more of a thick, creamy texture, and this one's a little bit thinner and waterier, as you can tell maybe by the sound of it. And again, it soaks into the skin really, really quickly. Has the same fresh, light smell that the face sunscreen has. Again, this is a good sunscreen for people with more resilient skin, maybe darker skin tones who don't really burn as much. It will protect you from general sun damage because anybody with any type of pigmentation in their skin, whether you're super pale or super dark, you can burn and you can get skin damage, and this will just help to protect you from that on a sort of daily basis, and it's really comfortable to wear, so it won't annoy you wearing it on a daily basis. Also, both of the Coppertone Clearly Sheer ones are meant to moisturize as well. Really, any of these will moisturize. This one has, obviously, like I said, the coconut and shea butter and all of those other great things, so it is going to be moisturizing. So these are all sort of treatments for your skin as well as really protective. So yeah, any of these is a really great option. There's the higher SPF ones if you have delicate skin, or if you know you're going to be out in the sun for a really long time, or at a really bad hour of the day, anywhere from the sort of 11 to 2 or 3. That's when the sun's going to be highest in the sky. Anytime the sun is super high overhead, that's when you're going to have the most sort of UV action going on and the most chance of burning. So that is the most important time to make sure that you have SPF on. A good kind of rule of thumb for that is if your shadow is shorter than you are, then you definitely need to be wearing SPF or trying to stay out of the sun. The one more that I wanted to mention that I don't have for you, I will try to insert a picture of it, is the Hawaiian Tropics Sheer Touch SPF. This comes in a bunch of different sizes and in a bunch of different concentrations. You can get as far down as, I think, SPF 15 or 30 and as much as 60. It is a really great one. It's not, it doesn't soak into the skin quite as much, but it has a really nice scent. Almost more of a pina colada smell than just the plain coconut or the super fruity like the kids one. The only thing that I wouldn't personally recommend about that sunscreen is that it does have a bit of a shimmer to it, which can be a little bit weird. It can be nice if you want like a little bit of extra glow, like on your legs and arms and chest and stuff. It's really pretty. But you don't always want to be super shimmery just because you're wearing sunscreen, so that might be why I wouldn't recommend it. If that sounds cool to you, it is a really great sunscreen, and I have worn it for like the past 2 years, so it's great. It works really well, it smells good, and it lasts like it's supposed to. So yeah, if that interests you, then that is a really good one too. So as usual, I will leave all of the products that I talked about down in the description bar below. I just wanted to let you know some of my picks and suggestions as we are going into summer. Let me know down in the comments below if you have used any of these products, what you thought of them, and also what your favorite sunscreens are, especially if they are non-greasy sort of matte sunscreens, because that is the only kind I'm ever going to wear. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful or interesting. And don't forget to subscribe to see more videos from me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys. I have a few makeup things to show you, a couple of TV shows, and actually some food items, and that's about it. So yeah, these are my spring 2016 favorites. So for makeup favorites, I actually have like 3.5 lip products